Y'all, this story is unreal. You absolutely will not believe what happened to this 15-year-old babysitter. So a teen girl's situation has now gone viral after she wrote on Reddit about how a family refused to pay her. This was after they suddenly said they didn't like the tank top she was wearing to babysit their children. The teen has only been identified as May, and she vented on the Reddit forum called Am I Overreacting? And she gave the details of the payment dispute with the family. This has completely shocked and outraged people, including me. So according to her post on Reddit, she had been babysitting for this family for over a year. Never had any problems. She watched the family's 2 children until the tank top changed everything. May said that day she had worn an $18 Brandy Melville Skylar striped lace tank top, and that was up under a sweatshirt for a normal 7-hour babysitting shift she had. However, she ended up removing the sweatshirt where she was only wearing the tank, and this was after the children asked her to do some hardcore play, and it took a lot of energy and she was probably hot. So after this incident, May evidently wasn't paid for this shift for like several days. So she finally texted the kid's mom, whose name is Marianne. She politely wrote her after she had waited days for her payment through the usual, which was Venmo. As you can see, she wrote, "Hi, hope you had a great weekend. I just wanted to reach out because I haven't gotten my payment from Wednesday yet. I know you guys celebrate Good Friday and Easter, so I totally get that it probably slipped off your radar, but if you could Venmo me when you have the chance, that would be fantastic." But it was the response that she got back from the mom that has outraged people. She responded back by saying, "Hello, May. Dan and I have been talking about it, and quite frankly, we don't feel comfortable paying you the full amount after you wore such an inappropriate clothing to our house. The kids love you, and we are more than happy to give you a second chance, but we can't pay you more than $50 after you wore that outfit. You've got to be kidding me." So May ended up posting the screenshots to the subreddit, and that got her thousands of comments of support. One person reportedly called it disgusting that grown adults would weaponize a teenager's clothing in order to justify withholding pay, and I totally agree. So May then responds back and said, "Wow, I had no idea you guys feel that way. I'm so sorry. I made you uncomfortable. I just wanted it to be in something flexible to run around with Sarah and Eliza. That being said, 50 honestly doesn't feel like enough for 2 kids in 7 hours. I understand you do not feel okay paying me full price, and I'd be willing to do half of what I normally charge." What a kind and respectful teenager, because I dang sure wouldn't have said I'd do for half. But just hold on, it only gets worse from here. May explained that she was Jewish and the family she was babysitting for was Catholic. So the parents that she was babysitting for would often clash with May's mom over their differences. So May's mom ended up intervening and emailed the family, and they completely ignored her. So May then sent yet another text because she never got paid anything still after the mom emailed. And the response was even worse from Marianne after that. She said, "Hi, Marianne. I apologize for the double texting. I know your kids are on break this week, but you haven't responded to my text or my mother's email. I've been thinking about the last couple texts, and while I feel awful that I offended you and Dan, we have never gone over ground rules about clothing, and I don't think it's fair for you to go back on your word. I think that it's best decision for both of us if you pay me in total and we can put this behind us." Look what the mother then said back. She said, "May, I have known you since you were a little girl, and it's quite disheartening to see that you have grown into another version of your mother. Neither the less," who the hell says neither the less, "Dan has Venmo'd you $150. She then sent another text to May saying that she prayed she would find a silver lining of normality among her parents. Who in the hell says that to a teen? Seriously. But as you can see, May responded back to this last text by saying, "I'll take that as a compliment. I think my mother's awesome. Good for you, May." But Mary ended up replying back saying she wouldn't hire May again. But woman, I don't think you've got anything to worry about. I don't think she'd want to come back again anyway. But May's persistence eventually paid off, and Dan, the husband, did finally Venmo her the $150 like they had agreed upon to begin with. May eventually told the family in a final message that she wouldn't go back to their home anyway, considering the way they treated her and talked about her parents, and attempted to use her and go back on their words. Who does this, y'all? It is a freaking tank top. Plus, they never discussed a dress code for babysitting anyway. What cheapos they are. I think they use this as an excuse to try and get out of paying her, honestly. It took May consistently messaging them for them to finally pay up. Anyway, I couldn't believe this story. Some people are just so hateful and, what's the word I'm looking for? Ignorant. They're ignorant. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and for more content, be sure to follow and subscribe over on YouTube.